Hello, hello, hello. It's Knits for Sanity and welcome to my channel. I am so happy to have you here. If this is your first time, thank you for joining me. Today I am doing what's called a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for work in progress. So grab whatever project it is that you're doing, whether that's a craft project, a chore, an exercise, whatever it is, and I will just chat for a while to keep you company, give you some background noise. And of course, if you are a returning visitor, thank you so much for coming back. You are deeply, deeply appreciated. All right, so I'm still a little, I just had a few chocolate covered peanuts, so I'm like kind of cleaning out my teeth yet. Chocolate covered peanuts, one of my favorite things. Oh, yum, yum, yum. The peanut, the nuttiest nut that's not a nut. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. It just popped in my head. So a couple of things that I want to talk about right off the bat. The first is I do have that contest ongoing right now for the super huge, massive Temu unboxing video that it took me about 2 weeks to film and edit and get it all set up and ready to go. Now, it would not have taken 2 weeks in like a different phase of my life. It's just, in addition to the video, it's also dealing with what felt like 50 million track meets and having to drive everywhere under the sun. So just, you know, normal mom life, and particularly end of school year mom life, took creating this video much longer than what I had wanted. So for those of you who patiently waited, thank you. Thank you so much. But that contest is currently ongoing. And how it works is it is a super long video. It's 2.5 hours, edited down from over 4. So I took out a lot. But every single product is still in there. It's just, I mean, there's different things that I talked about related to products. I mean, I really, really cut it down. So, that's great, except it's still 2.5 hours. But during those 2.5 hours, I do give 6 secret words that then you can go to the notes section of the video and find a Google form link, and you can fill out the Google form with your 6 secret words and, you know, provide a couple of other little bits of information as well. And then you are up for potentially winning just a bunch of different stuff from my personal stash. So these are items that I have purchased over the last year, 2 years or so. You know, things that I had full intentions of completing at one time, or items that I was maybe sent a duplicate of, whether I purchased a second copy by accident or a second copy was just included by accident. But it's going to be quite a bit of stuff. I have an ongoing box being built up right now, and I can't even think of everything that's in there at present. A couple of the things that you see in that unboxing are also included, and that is because they were duplicate items. And I know for a fact, I don't mention all of the duplicates either. So there's like 1 or 2 things in the video maybe that you do hear, or it was not edited out, that I mentioned that this will be included in the giveaway because I have duplicates, but then other things that I know I excluded. So some of the stuff that you actually see in the unboxing will be included in the giveaway. And why am I doing this? It's really, there are 2 reasons. The first is I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers. And so as both a maybe hopeful boost to try and help get me over that 1,000 subscriber hump, as well as just a thank you to those of you who take the time to watch my videos and engage too. You know, I've said it many times before, but the reason why I started my YouTube channel was I wanted to get to know the crafty community a little bit better. Where I live is, it's a rural location, and there isn't much opportunity for me to get together with other crafters. And some of that is definitely location related. And it's also just because of my life right now, having 4 kids and having to drive them everywhere. And so I really wanted to try and find a way to connect with other crafters. And so as a way to say, thank you to those of you who have taken the time, and I've gotten to know you, and you, I appreciate you, basically. It's a thank you, just to say, hey, thanks so much. So far, turnout has been really good. Video went live. What day did it go live? I don't even know. I'm so confused with my days. I want to say Friday. Last Friday, I think it went live. It's Tuesday today. And so that gives you, it ends June 3rd, approximately midnight Standard Eastern Time in the United States is when the contest ends. So that gives you 2 full weeks plus a long weekend. Because June 3rd is a Monday. So, I want it to be really, really fair. I know how long that video is, and I know how hard it can be. Some people, you have to watch this in 15, 20-minute chunks. And so I wanted to give plenty of time for you to be able to participate if you wanted to. And yeah, so far turnout, I've been really pleased. There's almost 20 people who have completed Google Forms already. And out of those numbers, there are only 2 that have to be tossed. One person, I'm not sure what may have happened, but they only gave the first 3 secret words. So I don't know if, if you just decided to stop watching, which is fine. That's totally fine. No one needs to watch the whole thing. But unfortunately, you do need all 6 words, just to be fair to the people who did take the time to go through and watch the whole thing. And then the second form that has to be tossed is my own, because I was doing a test. I wanted to make sure that the form worked. And so I did a test run. So I will also be tossing my own form. Frankly, I want to get rid of the stuff. I don't want to keep any of it. So, yes, but still, it's about 20 people already. And like I said, I'm thrilled. Thank you guys. Thank you. And of course, if you remember my giveaway from last summer, I really struggle with only having one winner. It's very hard for me to only have one winner. I feel like if you took the time to dedicate to this, and that means so much to me, that I don't know. I'm debating. I might actually end up having 2 or 3 winners, where one person gets the so-called grand prize and 2 of you just receive something small. Just because I hate only having one winner. So I don't know. I'll keep you all posted. And thank you too to those of you who were able to help me out. Especially, there's one item in there that I just really loved. It's like a light up Christmas village. And I opened it up, and there's no way to have this village stand up. And so, it was a huge disappointment, because it's a really cute item, and I think it would look so awesome completed, but there was no way for it to stand up. And I had several of you comment and say, first, I didn't realize that my buddy Liz over in Scotty Dog Crafts apparently has received this item in the past. I feel like I've watched all of her videos, but it's bound to happen. I miss a few here and there, but apparently she also got one, which does not wholly surprise me. We often have pretty similar tastes and things. So some of you commented from having watched her video. And then others of you have actually purchased this item yourself, but you're able to tell me that I was missing pieces. There should have been like a screwdriver set in there with some like plastic rods, I guess, that would keep the two ends together. And then it would be able to stand up. So thank you. That makes me feel better. Like I'm not dumb. Like it wasn't that I couldn't figure it out. It was truly, there were indeed missing pieces, which is what I thought. But I also know me. And sometimes I'm just really slow to figure things out. For example, that last Temu unboxing with the mirror that I could not for the life of me figure out how to get it to stand up. I mean, that was embarrassing. It took me so long to figure that out. So thank you for making me feel better. I am really thinking I might try reordering that one. What I did unbox was so cute, and I think I would love it so much. I'm a sucker for Christmas decorations and especially, Christmas village type things. And so I really think I might reorder that one and hope to get the whole item the second time around. Also, speaking of Liz, I meant to actually talk about this earlier, but then life got so busy and I had to do that Temu unboxing video, get that done, that I never had an opportunity to film again. But during the month of May, Liz at Scotty Dog Crafts is doing a 30 by 40 challenge, which is, full drill 30 by 40 paintings. And she's going to offer some kind of prize at the end, again, from her own personal stash, very similar to me. But you can, for every 30 by 40 painting that you complete during the month of May, you can email them to her. Otherwise, she also has a Facebook page that you can submit your your paintings on. I mean, if you want to draw a 30 by 40 something, that would probably be awesome. And I'm sure she would love to see it. But for this contest, it's 30 by 40 diamond paintings full drill, completed during the month of May. And for every completed kit, you get an entry into her prize drawing. And the last I remember her saying too, I don't think she was 100% sure like what would be included either. She's a lot like me where it's, let me just go through my huge stash and figure out, what's good enough to give away. But that is what I'm actually currently working on, is a 30 by 40 painting for Liz's contest. Truth be told, this is actually my second 30 by 40 painting. I did get one done in between completing my large painting, which I know I have to do some kind of a reveal on that yet. It's so big that I'm struggling to know like where to do that video. But the big one is, it is done. I love it. It's gorgeous. And then since then I've completed one other 30 by 40. I feel like, and I told Liz, I should get bonus points because the other 30 by 40 I completed is a true 30 by 40. The drill size is a 30 by 40 painting versus this is like your traditional 30 by 40 where the canvas size is 30 by 40, but really the drill area is then like 25 by 35. So this is much smaller than the last painting that I did for her contest. So I told Liz, I think I should get bonus points for that. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. But it is amazing to me. I'm having some issues with one spot in my drill pin. Sometimes if I just smooth out the wax that's in here. This is patty wax, by the way, is what I'm currently using. But it's the super sticky. But sometimes if I just smooth it out, then it seems to work a little bit better for me. But I know Liz would love to have you. She's having a great event this month. There have been a lot of participants. You have to subscribe to her channel. I will, of course, link all of that in my notes, so go check it out. But if you don't already watch Liz, and I know a lot of you do, go check her out. She makes me laugh. I appreciate her sense of humor. I wish we could know each other in real life. So, but I will link to all of that. But that is what I'm currently working on, is a project for Liz's contest. This was from Temu. This, truth be told, this is my first full drill Temu diamond painting that I've ever done. And one other video that I will be doing with Temu related items. If you have not watched the whole Temu unboxing, I do reveal in there that there are actually 2 additional Temu unboxing videos that I have to do. That was just because at over 4 hours worth of material, I realized I need to make a couple of exceptions here. And so one thing is like a series that goes together. So I will do one video for that. And then the other is I did purchase several more full drill Temu diamond paintings because I realized that I hadn't really done that. This is the only one that I've ever purchased, and I've avoided it because it's really hard. I like to try and just deal with licensed art or art that's been obtained legally somehow. And Temu, I mean, as you know, a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is stolen, but not all of it. So it's kind of tricky. For the most part, I've just tried to avoid it. And then even when I picked this one out, it's a Klimt painting, and I assumed, well, Klimt, I mean, it's over 100 years old. I'm sure it's open source by now. Then I found out after doing some additional research that not all of Klimt's work is actually open source. You just can't win. I tried, and that's really all that I can require of myself is I try. You know, I try. I try my best. This painting might not actually be open source, but I tried. But anyway, I got thinking about it and I thought, but I should try more because there's so many different companies that sell their stuff on Temu that I thought it would probably be a good idea to try and get kind of a comparison between different items and, you know, is it worth buying full drill items from Temu? What are you likely to receive when you do that? So I did purchase several of those, and I thought they would make their own video too. So far, I mean, this painting, I really enjoy doing it. My only real complaint so far has been the drills are meh. They are acrylic drills, which is fine. I have no problem using acrylic drills. And I've talked about both the merits of acrylic and resin drills in the past, and the drawbacks of both. So I have no problem with them being resin drills. But a lot of these, except for the black, the 310s actually seem to be probably the best. So I can't even show you, but a lot of them have like over poured acrylic in here. So they have like the little skirts on them. Let's see if I can find one just sitting here in my trash drills by chance. Here we go. If I can get it out. Can you see how this drill has like hangy offy bits? Is that in focus at all? I think you can see that. So there have been a lot of drills like this. So not the highest quality drills. But hopefully, you know, as long as there's enough for me to be able to complete my painting, that's really all that I care about. You know, it's like, that's fine. I can go through. I much prefer that over resin drills that get stuck together. That drives me batty. Oh my word. Oh, that just drives me insane, is because then you have all these like resin balls and your drill tray, and then you try and grind them all, and oh, that just drives me absolutely bonkers. Oh, so I much prefer just picking out deformed drills and tossing them. That's easier for me to deal with. And yeah, as long as I have enough to complete my painting, I'm fine with it. Like, that's fine. Doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, that's really about it about this painting. Otherwise, it's been pretty fun to do. I mean, it's fun just working on a smaller canvas, especially after I did slave my way through that 60 by 80 that I did complete, which I know for some of you, you love doing those. That's great. That's awesome. I just discovered I don't have that kind of time in my life right now. But I did get that 60 by 80 done. It is gorgeous, and I will figure out a way for you to be able to see it. So there. Let's see. Oh, speaking of events, so kind of while I was doing my large TEMU unboxing video, I was starting to realize just how many of those 30 by 30 special drill canvases I have. And again, when I say 30 by 30, that's the actual canvas size. The drill area is like 25 by 25. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just watch some of that TEMU unboxing. But they're very popular little canvases. Often some really fun special drills in there, but I got a lot of these. And it occurred to me that it would be fun to do an event with this size and type of painting. You know, real informal and casual type event, because there are so many of the big events that happen now. I in no way want to try. At first, I couldn't. I mean, I can't offer any competition anyway, but I also don't want to be competition for any of the big events. You know, Summer with the Masters, I think that's June and July. Liz also does something in June. I think it's a project a day. I think she does 30 projects in 30 days. Which actually what I want to do would fit in with that really, really well, because these are the little canvases that you can get done in one sitting. So that would be one project. So it would count for Liz's little contest to next month. I say little, not in a demeaning way. I say little because compared to something like Summer with the Masters, that's why. But that was probably not a good word for me to use, because I did not mean it to sound demeaning. But yeah, my thought is June is my birthday month, and I don't know, I like my birthday month. I like to do special fun things. And so I thought it might be fun to do a little event where let's see how many of these 30 by 30 special drill paintings we can complete in the month of June. I think I'll come up with some kind of a little prize. It won't be as large as what the current one is, which really is like my 1,000 subscriber prize, even though I don't have 1,000 subscribers. But for the TEMU unboxing, that will be the larger prize event. But I'll come up with something that will be fun and appropriate for the contest and what it is that we'll be doing. And I will come up with a short like announcement video soon too, just outlining rules and stuff. First, I'm still kind of gauging the water to see how much interest there is in something like that. I have gotten a couple of positive, like, yeah, I would be interested in doing something like that. And I think most people would be relatively cool with the idea, just because I'm not asking for huge commitments. It's just, just if you get a 30 by 30 special drill diamond painting done, you just have to submit it, and then you could win something. Like a few hours worth of work. It's not a huge commitment if you decide to do it. Versus a lot of the other contests, it's all, they require at least like a 50 by 50 canvas, and they can be pretty intense events. And And I feel like there's a very appropriate place for events like that. If you are like hardcore into this hobby, and if you have the time, if you are really wanting to challenge yourself, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why events that have these more stringent requirements and large canvases, why I think they're great. I just want to offer something different for those of us who are like, yeah, I'd love to do that kind of an event. I don't have the time or the willpower, I guess. I have done a couple of these large events in the past. But I just find myself more and more like, I just don't have the time for that. So I'll just stick with the small, more fun things, the low pressure events. But I was thinking it might even be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, because I want to keep it really low pressure. But maybe I could do like a bonus prize every week. So like one grand prize. So kind of maybe do it like Liz, where you submit your completed 30 by 30s. And, you know, for everyone that you submit, you get an entry for the quote unquote grand prize. Which actually, you know what? I do have something that might make a really awesome grand prize item. I might, because it was, all right. Okay, guys. So you're like going to be on the inside scoop here, and you're going to have to help me out with this. So let me show you. I have one of these Xyron Create a Sticker things. And this is one of the bigger size ones. And I have it because when I had to repurchase one for myself. I used to own one like 15, 16, 17 years ago. And eventually I feel like that kind of bit the dust. I don't remember what happened. But anyway, I have this one now. I had to rebuy it. And it was buy one, get one free, I think. Maybe it was like a Thanksgiving Black Friday special last year. But I don't need two of these. So this one has just been sitting in its box doing nothing, clearly, because it's getting lonely, just sitting in a box on a shelf, and it could probably use a home. And this is a pretty nice item, at least I think. I mean, so I don't know. So maybe this could be like the grand prize item. This and maybe, well, if I ship it though in this box, it would have to be this item alone. Or if I can find another box to ship it in, maybe I could include like one or two little diamond paintings to go with it, like 30 by 30 or something similar. What do you think? Would you guys be interested in winning something like this? Let me know. Let me know. But I do have this available. And this, I feel like this is a pretty nice item. But I could be completely wrong, okay? So if you have zero interest in this, be honest and let me know in the comments for this. Or you can send me a message too. I don't care how you contact me. Just let me know. If you have zero interest in this, that's fine. I would then rather not offer it and find something else that I maybe already have that I could give instead. But I feel like this might be a really good item. So anyway, there you go. That is now the little inside scoop. But then maybe during the week, I'm brainstorming with all of you. I hope that you don't mind. But then maybe during the week, like every week, I could do a video where I'm working on one of my 30 by 30 paintings and do something similar to like what I did with the Great TEMU unboxing, where I give a secret word and you fill out a Google form and maybe then you can win like another little prize. What do you think? So that would help me feel better, because then I won't just have one prize winner. I could have like 5 prize winners, which does help me feel better. And it gives you guys more opportunities, and it would make the event more fun. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't want it to feel like it's direct competition with any other events. You know, I want to keep it real light and simple. You know, I don't want, and of course, then the weekly videos, that you don't have to have any participation in that at all. You can just do the grand prize for at the end of the month with the number of paintings you got done, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, please. I truly, genuinely want to hear from you guys. I have never done like a real diamond painting event before myself. And so I want to make it something that will be fun and it'll be worth it, but not something that's going to feel like, oh, here she is trying to take her piece of the pie, because that's not it. Like I try very, very hard to just avoid drama within the community. I like everyone and everything for the most part. And, you know, I just want everyone to be able to participate and feel included. That's it. So definitely, please let me know. All right. So that was a lot of rambling. Oh, kids just got home from school. I'm going to pause this and then I will be right back. I am back. I don't know how much longer I'll be back. Just things are a little more heated up here at home now. I got 2 kids home and my husband's doing stuff in the kitchen right now. But yes, so if you could give me input on the event idea, I would really, really appreciate it. Yeah, one of the kids that came home today, she is pretty tuckered out. She was supposed to have track practice after school, but had emailed me earlier in the day saying that she was going to be coming home. We had a really eventful day and night yesterday. So I told her that was totally okay. Yesterday was definitely a day. First, I should remind you, remember the car troubles that I had and that I needed a new transmission, plus some other stuff that had to be done, and then we finally managed to get that all completed less than 2 months ago. Yeah, so they completely rebuilt my transmission, and then there were a couple of other more minor, other than like the engine, every other repair is more minor than the transmission, but a couple of more minor things as well. And my transmission is not good again. So yesterday we had to have my car towed and brought back to the transmission place, which means we are down to 1 car again, which is very problematic. Not to mention the fact that I am almost beside myself with just anger, frustration, feeling overwhelmed. It's like, why can't I just get a decent working vehicle? We paid thousands of dollars to have it fixed, and it's still not okay. It is under warranty, and we even paid to get an additional warranty on it because I know us. I think I even joked about it, like, well, having paid that extra warranty, well, now we shouldn't have to need to use it at all. Ha, ha, ha. Well, we probably, hopefully, still won't ever have to use the extended warranty part of it, but the warranty that came with it is definitely being used now. I don't think we've heard back from them. They were supposed to look at it today, but I don't think we've heard anything back if they did look at it and are letting us know what's going on with it. But anyway, so we're back down to 1 vehicle again, and it's my husband's really, really, really old minivan that belonged to his grandmother, actually. So it's not a very comfortable ride. Let's just put it that way. But at least it runs. But yeah, so I'm very angry about the car situation. And so my car had to get towed again yesterday. And then that suddenly meant that now I got to figure out how on earth kids are going to be able to get to where they need to go to. My oldest had a JV track meet about almost an hour from her house. And it was going to be the last time she would be running this season. So it was really important to me that I be there for her. But at the same time, my youngest daughter had a student council meeting after school. My middle daughter had track practice after school. And like youngest daughter was done at 3:30. Middle daughter wasn't going to be done until 5:30. And in the end, I could only find a ride home for my student council daughter. And so my middle daughter, I then had to tell her, I'm really sorry, I can't find you a ride home. So you can't do track practice. You're just going to have to go home. And I did text her coach that too and let her coach know. See, look, here's another one. Do you see that large? Yeah. But this is probably about the first black that I've had like that, actually. But I had to text her coach too and say, look, I am really sorry. I don't have a ride available. My kid can't go to practice. It's just the way it is. And I had tried contacting several people. But yeah, so that was a frustration though, and a hassle because I'm trying to contact people, and I'm also supposed to be leaving the house because I have to get to this track meet out of town for my oldest daughter, and people continue texting me about various things. There was a work issue going on at the same time, and that's a frustrating story too. It was like, and I need to leave, and so anyway, I finally managed to leave the house, and on my way down, first there's construction everywhere, which the construction is needed. Michigan is actually known for having really, really, really bad roads, like really bad. We have been ranked dead last before in the union for the state of our roads. So the construction is needed. Okay. I know this, but it makes everything for traveling even more difficult when you actually have to shut down an interstate. That's really hard. And then it's really hard when you need to shut down that interstate in the middle of the second largest city in the state. So it's, that was very frustrating because there was a lot more backed up traffic than what I thought there was going to be. And then some of the backed up traffic was not where I was anticipating there to be backed up traffic. So already I am getting concerned that I'm not going to arrive on time because of the traffic situation. So I'm getting stressed about that. And my daughter's event is, her first event is the second event. It's the 100-meter hurdles. So it's right at the beginning. You have the 4x800 relay run first, which fortunately does take a little bit of time. But then it's hurdles. And hurdles, it's 110 meters for the boys, and the boys go first this year. And then it's 100 meters for the girls. These are very fast events. Very fast. The only event faster is the 100-meter dash. So it's over almost literally in the blink of an eye. So I was getting very stressed out that I was going to miss her. And the 110 meters is her favorite event. She enjoys running that one. So I really wanted to be there, and I'm freaking out because I don't think I'm going to make it on time. But then I get to the school and I'm like, yes, I made it on time. I'm just fine. In fact, I got here early enough. I should be able to see her and talk to her before she even has to run her event. This is wonderful. But then I look over and their field is totally torn up. Like bulldozers are in there. It's a mess. There is no event happening there. Okay, well, maybe there's another field at their new middle school. So I drive to the middle school. There's nothing happening over there. So now I'm texting people, I'm calling people who are other parents on the team, like, where do you know where this event is happening? And I looked the night before online, two different places online to try and verify where this event was happening, because I'm that kind of person. You know, I look ahead, I plan ahead, and I couldn't find this event listed anywhere. And the email from the coach just said that it was at this place. So I thought, well, okay, so it must be there. And I know exactly where that is. I've been there many times before for wrestling events, no problem. But it was not there. And it was not at the middle school. So now I'm like, I don't know. And I'm rereading the email again. Nope, there is no information on there at all. It just says it's here, but it's clearly not there. And, you know, other parents are like, I don't know either. Finally, I am able to flag somebody down. And he looked to be in kind of a hurry. I think he was running back to one of the ball games, because there was both a baseball game and a softball game happening there. But I flagged him down and I said, are you from here? And he's like, yes. I said, okay, there's supposed to be a track meet somewhere. And he said, oh, yeah, that's at our old middle school. Okay. And he gives me the address. I'm like, okay, thank you. And he apologized to me probably 3 times. I think because I looked like this really desperate, stressed out woman. Like, clearly this was a mom in distress. So he apologized several times. Like, yeah, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. So the event was actually held at the old middle school. He gave me the address. Thank you. It was a couple miles away. No, actually it was only about 1.5 miles away. But it's a pretty busy area right there. So, I mean, it's a several minute drive. I get there and I mean, clearly by now, like, the meet has definitely started. I get there and I look and I see that there is no parking. It is the school and that lot is crammed. Next door is a church. That lot is crammed. People who are driving vehicles like what I should have been driving, but no, the transmission is bad again and is in the shop. They parked on like grasses. They went up over curbs to park. Can't do that in my husband's ancient minivan. So that was not an option for me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta find parking. And I'm watching the clock and I'm like, oh, she's gonna run any minute. I'm gonna miss her. Fortunately, I was able to reach her. She knew I was running late and she was aware that I might not make it in time. So that was at least a little bit of comfort. She knew that ahead of time. I finally find this spot. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I can fit in there. Yeah, I can fit. Totally illegally parked. I mean, 100% illegal parking job. But my vehicle could fit and I didn't care at that point. Did not care. So I go into this parking spot and then I fly out of the car and I realize, oh crap, I forgot my purse. Which I needed because I knew you'd have to pay to enter. So I go back, I get my purse, and then I'm like running as much as I can. And it was like 87 degrees outside and really humid. It felt horrible out. So I'm moving as fast as I can. I got my camera and now I have my purse and I got my huge water jug because I promised my daughter that I would bring her water. I knew she'd need more water because it was so stinking hot yesterday. Complete heat wave. So, I'm lugging a lot of stuff and I get to the entrance and the entrance line is backed up. I'm like, oh, people. And I can see, it looks like in the distance, the hurdles are up already, but I can't tell if there's still people running on the track for the relay because like they set up the hurdles and then there's only a couple of lanes open for the relay runners. So I couldn't really see for sure what was going on. But I make it through, I pay, I get in, and, I fly in there. And then, unlike most stadiums where you enter and the home side is right when you enter. No. This stadium has to be backward. The only stadium I have ever been in that is backward like this. Where I enter, I had to walk to the other side of the track to be on the home side. And why do you have to be on the home side? Because that's where the hurdlers run, is on the home side of the track. So I still have to, walk all the way around the track. And of course, as the spectator, you have to walk even further because you can't be like on the track. So it's not like you can just cut across or anything. Oh, no. Got to walk all the way around. So I'm going like mad. And I finally get there and I see the bleachers are pretty full. So I'm not going to risk trying to get into the bleachers because they're just about ready to start the hurdle event. So I just stop at the fence and can watch from the fence. And the boys had started their hurdles. But it was like, oh, thank goodness. I did make it. I will watch my daughter. Whew. And I did. So I got there during the boy hurdles, and there were 3 or 4 heats of those, which obviously goes quickly. But the saving grace is after the boys get done with hurdles, then you need to both lower and move every single hurdle on the track. So that buys you several extra minutes. So even though the boys were running when I arrived, I had time. So I was able to breathe a little bit. I got my camera out. I saw my daughter run. Unfortunately, she did not know I was there. She had no clue that I watched her. But I saw her right afterward, and she actually said to me, "Oh, you just missed me." And I said, No, I saw you. I was standing at the fence. I even yelled, "Go Sylvia." So she didn't realize I was there and watching her, but I was. I did see her. Then I go to the bleachers to try and find somewhere to sit now. And I'm looking, and I finally do see, they were very full bleachers. But I do finally see where there are other parents from our team, where they are located. And of course, it's way at the top of the bleachers. No, that's not actually where I'm working right now. So I climb all the way up there with all my stuff. And I finally take a seat. And it's about this point when I realize that I am starving. I never really had lunch. I'm hungry. And it's now 5:00. So I'm thinking about walking down to concessions to get a hot dog. Something that's going to tide me over. When my daughter shows up, and she clearly just needed me to be there with her. So I stayed with her then. But while I'm there with my daughter, the people behind us, I was already aware of this situation, but I was not saying anything. The people behind us start talking about how the weather is looking really, really bad. And I had already gotten the warning that we were under a severe thunderstorm warning. I already knew this. I wasn't going to say anything to my kid about it. It makes her very, very anxious. I did not want her to feel like that. But the parents behind me just kept talking about it, and they just kept talking about it. And so my daughter is hearing it. And even though I'm trying to tell her, I don't want you to even think about that. I don't want you to worry about that. We are okay. It's not helping. She's hearing the T word, tornado, and she's freaking out, and I'm getting kind of angry with the people behind me. But it was becoming, though, very inevitable that this track meet was not going to be able to continue, as this dark sky is rolling in behind us, coming from the west over the lake. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is not gonna last. And then a couple of big drops start falling, and then they decide that, okay, we need to pause the tournament. But then, typically I've had it in the past where the kids get to at least wait inside of the school and all the spectators have to go wait in their car. But this time they were making all the kids wait in the buses. It is so freaking hot out. I thought, oh my God, they all have to wait in the buses? But it didn't take long, and they decided that they were just going to cancel the rest of the meet. It was a just for fun type meet. This wasn't like a conference meet. This was just like an extra meet, if that makes sense. Like if you're involved in sports, you'll get it. And the weather prediction was very, very severe. So they decided to just go ahead and cancel it. My daughter texted me to let me know that it's been canceled, but you still have to sign me out. I'm like, oh man. And by now it's raining. Okay. And so I'm like, all right, where's the bus? So I had to go out in the rain to find my daughter's bus so that I could sign her out so that she could be released and go home with me. Of course, by the time I go and I sign, the paper's drenched. So, I take my pen and it's just this black blur that starts spreading over the paper. I'm like, yeah, that was totally worth it. But I get her and it's just downpouring, and she's worked up, and I am now pretty much like on my own last rope here and hungry. So, and because we're in a major area, like very metropolitan urban area, there's plenty of restaurants. So I decide that we are just going to go somewhere and eat. But now I have to think strategically, because I know that pretty much everybody here is going to do the same thing, because it's not really good driving weather and everyone's hungry. So I knew everyone here is going to be going to a restaurant in the area. So I had to really think, like, where can I take her that has the highest odds of us being able to just get in and eat? And it was Cracker Barrel. I went, wait, Cracker Barrel. I bet nobody will go to Cracker Barrel, or almost no one's going to go to Cracker Barrel. First, it is not a cool restaurant. Second, it's on the other side of the on-ramp for the interstate. So people are less likely to drive past the interstate to go there. We're going to give that a go. So we got there, and sure enough, I could tell right away by the parking lot, yes, they're not that busy. We're going to be able to get in right away. This will be good. So we get in, we sit down, and we have our menus, and then the table sitting next to us, they start talking about the weather. And they start saying, oh, tornadoes in Mecosta County, which is a county very, 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 very close to where we live. And they just start talking about, tornadoes spotted here and spotted here. And of course, my daughter is hearing this. And somehow, though, we strike up conversation with the table next to us. And they were lovely, lovely women. They were very, very nice. And I don't remember how it started, but the woman sitting next to me said, yeah, we just came from a track meet. And we're like, oh, we did too. And then I asked them, where are you from? Turns out they are from my hometown. So we got talking a little bit. But then I did mention, I said where we lived and that this tornado activity was all happening up north. And so I just said, yeah, we're from up north. So yeah, we're really concerned about the weather, and kind of giving this so cut out the talk. And the woman who had been obsessively reading all the news and looking at the radar, she got it. And so she stopped and she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to check the weather for where we live. Good. You go ahead and do that. So she got it. So she did then fortunately stop talking about it. So that was good, because then our food came and we were able to just eat. I actually inhaled my meal. I was even hungrier than what I realized. And we were able to enjoy our meal then. And, we continued to chat with the neighbors a little bit, and that was kind of fun. So dinner actually ended up being okay. Not a bad experience. But texting my husband, who was back home with our remaining children, I did learn that we were without power. So before we left, I did kind of warn my daughter. I said, now there is no power at home, But by now she had a full belly. She was feeling better. The weather by us had cleared up substantially. So she was able to take that news quite well. So that was good. We get home, and indeed there is no power at home. When we had looked up approximate times for it to be reconnected, they said 3 to 5 hours. Okay. So, I encourage everyone, let's just get ready for bed. Everyone just go to bed. It's getting late now anyway. So we did that. I actually took one of my sleeping pills, which I very rarely use because they make me really groggy all the next day. I mean, they work, but then it takes me a long time to come out of it the next day. So I don't like using them unless I really feel that I have to. But last night really felt like this might be a good idea. Otherwise, I am never going to sleep. So I did that, but then my daughter came in at 1:30 in the morning. Really just stressed out, worked up because we still did not have power. She was very anxious about the weather yet. And I understand all of that. I get it. I am hardly with it though because I had taken my meds. I'm trying to help her and giving her all the same recommendations again about, everything you need to do when you feel this anxious. You have to, do some grounding exercises. I love you. We are okay. The power will come back on. It always does. It always takes longer than they say it will. But yeah, they've always been very nervous with storms, particularly my oldest two have always been very, very nervous during storms. But ever since our neighbor's house burned down after a day with particularly horrendous storms where several trees came down on our property and one came and just destroyed the swing set in our front yard, we were unable to leave the house till we had friends come over and chainsaw the trees that were across our driveway. And then that evening, our neighbors did not use their generator properly and their house burned down. Ever since then, the anxiety level has been really, really high, and I get it. I'm not frustrated or anything like that with my kids. I understand why they get so anxious about it. So ever since then, it's been hard, even harder than what it had been before with storms. Eventually she does leave. But I knew she was going to get very little sleep last night. So when she sent me a message earlier today saying, I'm not going to go to practice, I'm just going to come home, I was not at all surprised. I was anticipating that. I was not expecting her to be able to make it to practice. Our power did finally come back on about 3:30 in the morning. So it was only off for 8 hours, which isn't great, but not terrible. I mean, we have had it off for, the worst was several summers ago. We were without power for a couple of days, and that was hard. That was, we lost all of our groceries. I mean, that one was pretty nasty. And I mean, yeah, should we own a generator? Possibly. And actually that time we did have a friend come and let us use his generator during that time, just because now it had been so long and we need water. We need to have running water at the very least here. So he did come and he did plug up his generator. By then though, we'd already lost our groceries and everything. And then of course, within just a couple of hours of him setting up his generator, our power is finally restored. But still, that was really nice of him. But after the neighbor's incident, I think the kids would just totally freak out if we had a generator. I mean, just totally freak out. Even though we have explained to the children the reason why there was the house fire was because they improperly used the generator. It was an avoidable thing. It still would freak them out, I think, too much. So, but anyway, that was yesterday. it was, yeah, that was yesterday. It was eventful. It was kind of hard. And now we're supposed to maybe get more storms tonight, but it doesn't look like anything nearly as serious. And honestly, it wasn't, I mean, it was not good here. Like when my daughter and I got home, we did have to get out of the car and clear the driveway in order to be able to go down it, but it was not because like there were downed trees, because you can't, I mean, we couldn't move those. It was just a lot of branches and dead limbs had fallen, had been, blown off, and we could move those. Some of the dead branches were quite heavy, but between the two of us, we can move that. So, I mean, definitely it was rough here, but we've had worse. And tonight isn't expected to be anything like that. Tonight they are anticipating a like normal storm. So if we get anything at all. And it's hard to know with living just east of Lake Michigan. You never can really know for certain what's going to happen when a front crosses over the lake. Sometimes it dissipates over the lake. Sometimes it actually builds up and gets stronger. I've actually been told by meteorologists that West Michigan is one of their favorite places to work because the weather is so unpredictable and does change so rapidly. That I think, it does create a really nice challenge and like fun job for them. Although I don't know how it must feel to be wrong so often about the weather. And a meteorologist, I mean, they get all their radar and information from the National Weather Service. I mean, anyway, that's a different topic. But, so hopefully tonight will be a lot less eventful. Whew. So guys, what is going on in your lives? What is weather like by you, actually? Because I know we are not the only ones that are experiencing some pretty out of the norm weather. Storms in spring are normal here. Like that's always been the case. But we've had more tornadoes in Michigan than what we normally have. And it's been quite hot. Much hotter than what it normally is for May. So definitely not like normal ordinary weather here. But that's nothing compared to, I know, other parts of the country. Texas right now is going through just a blistering heat wave. Several deaths have already been associated with that heat wave. How are you guys holding up? Where are you? What's going on in your part of the world right now? Are you okay? Please let me know. The rest of the week, tomorrow is another day where I'm running around all over. I bring one doctor to a doctor appointment, ironically, to a doctor that is not far away from where I was yesterday for the track meet. But that's almost an hour from our house. So I bring her there, and then I'll bring her home. And then pretty much right after I bring her home, then I have to head out for, no, I don't think she'll go to track practice because she's done running now for the year. Okay. I was just thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to arrange more rides. But no, I shouldn't have to. So I'll bring home that daughter, and then I will have to head out for my middle daughter's last track meet of the season, which is also almost an hour away from our house. And then I'll come back from that. Yeah, just that continued, I live in my car, except now it's my husband's van life. And then I'm trying to remember the rest of the week. I know Friday, a couple of the kids have meetings after school, but they do have short days Friday, which will be nice. The kids only have half a day, so that will be nice for them, just, holiday weekend. Which if you're not in the US, Memorial Day is Monday. And Memorial Day is the day that we pause to honor all of the fallen soldiers that have fought to protect our country and freedom over the years. And so that is Memorial Day. national holiday here. And then, yeah, our school is just doing a half day the Friday before, which is really, really nice. Gives families a little bit of extra time to maybe head out for the weekend if they're planning on going somewhere. And then my kids only have next week of school, which Monday, of course, will be off because that's the holiday. So they just go Tuesday through Friday. And then the week after that is exam week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's 3 half days. And then they're done June 5th. That is crazy to me. I can't believe how fast the year has gone. Oh, and I feel like that every year, and every year it just gets faster. It's nuts. It's just nuts. Then yeah, I'm going to have 2 kids in high school fully and 1 8th grader and a 3rd grader. That is, oh my word. Oh, this parenting thing, it goes so quickly. Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, let me know how you are all doing, where you are located, what the weather is like by where you live. Definitely give me input on the June event for the 30 by 30 special drill pin painting. I want to hear from you guys. And if you haven't already, check out the Great TEMU unboxing of 2024 for a chance to win a number of diamond painting related type items from me. All right, guys. Questions, comments, leave them below for me. I love reading what you guys write. I read everything and I try and respond to everything. Occasionally, YouTube does not publish comments. So if you did write something and I don't reply, it's because I can't see it for some reason. But otherwise, I do reply to everything. Subscribe if you haven't. Thumbs up is nice. These are all the things that I should say at the beginning of my videos, but I never remember to. So yeah, all that jazz. Oh, something else that I meant to mention also at the beginning of my video. So if you happen to still be listening, you'll understand the skinny now. So the music that I was using for my newer intro and outro clips suddenly became copyrighted. Previously it was not, and I was just allowed to use it. But then that changed. So now it's copyrighted. So that is why there was no sound at the beginning and end of this video. And I will work on if I'm just going to do a whole new intro and outro, or if I'm just going to try and find a different sound clip to use. I don't know. Just stay posted for that. But that's why the intro was silent today, is because that was suddenly copyrighted music. It wasn't like 2 weeks ago, and now it is. So that's fine. Probably, I don't know when that happened, actually. But anyway, that is why that happened, why that is the case. All right, guys, that is now finally everything. This ended up being a pretty long video. If you stuck around, thank you. And like I always say, please practice kindness. A little bit of extra patience and kindness can go a really long way. Like, thank you so much to the man at the high school yesterday that I stopped and like, where is this track meet? He was very kind and patient with me, and I appreciated that a lot. I mean, he will never see this, but that was so good of him. So that is appreciated by me. And so yes, just I try to remember that for myself too. A little bit of extra patience and kindness can go a really long way and make a huge difference for somebody. Otherwise, I hope that you guys are doing okay. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you again real soon.